Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? Oh, hold on, I need to make this change right here. How y'all doing? So today we are on here on a Wednesday, and I know y'all like, what y'all doing? What we doing on here today? What we doing on here on a Wednesday? Well, I'm on break, and I gotta get it in while I can. So today we're doing a live stream. Okay, hold on, y'all. And this live stream we're going to be talking about something a little interesting. I had changed it. It still has to do with the same thing we were talking about, like the original title. I changed the title, okay? But it's really the same thing. It's really the same subject, okay? The title is just a little different now. So let me get this up here, all right? Because I came across a video. Hey, brown skin, how you doing? Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Kiki Loves Nigeria. I am the host of this show. And on Kiki Loves Nigeria, we talk about anything and everything that impacts you visiting, repatriating, or investing in Africa. Okay, it used to be just West Africa because that was my specialty, that was my area of study. But just from doing this channel, and doing different shows, we've had the opportunity to pretty much go all around Africa. So I'm going to just say Africa, not just West Africa. All right. So we talk about anything that has to do with you going, visiting, investing, anything like that. Okay. And as you know, a lot of Black Americans have, a lot of Black diaspora, period, have invested heavily in Africa. All right. And that's one of the things that's been really disturbing me is the amount of money that we have been pouring into Africa. And not only the amount of money we've been pouring into Africa, but the amount we're expected to pour this money into Africa. And that's the part that truly disturbs me, that we are expected to do that. And then what do we get in return? What do we get for our return on our money? So we're talking about that, and how I keep going back to that is because, like, every time I go to I was introducing myself. All right, so that's what we talk about, because I just don't want people to be taken advantage of. I don't want people to be used. I don't want people to lose their hard-earned money, and I don't want people to lose their life. A lot of women have lost their life on and doing this repatriation journey, this expatting, whatever. A lot of women have lost their lives doing that. And that's why, we constantly talk about it on this channel, because we don't want people to lose their money or their lives. All right. And then let me say this. Okay. On this channel, I do use primary sources, okay, which are other people's videos or people's tapes or documents, anything that comes primarily from that person's mouth, okay, or that person typed it. Anything that's straight from that person, I like to use those as sources of material, because I want you guys to learn to be able to separate fact from fiction, to be able to know a fact from an opinion. Okay, so that's why I do that. And I do that to help educate people, all right, on how to do research and how to properly vet sources, so you'll know what is a good source and what is not a good source. All right, so that's another reason why we use primary sources, copyrighted material, but there's no copyright infringement intended. All right, it's only done to help people, to educate people, to teach people how to do research, and to commentary. And a lot of it is for consumer awareness. All right, like this one is for consumer awareness. It's about social issues. It's about public awareness. It's about education, educating you on what's going on in these countries that you guys are running to, that you think are so much better than the United States, when, oh my God, when I see what is going on over there, that stuff would never be allowed to go down. I'm not saying it doesn't go down, but it does not go down without being, somebody saying something or doing something. All right, so that's what we do over here. And again, tonight, I kind of changed the title because I wanted to talk in a different perspective. All right. So I wanted to make sure I talked about what's going on with these land issues in Gambia. Because remember, I told you when I was there, I was watching the news, and I think I heard that man say on the news that 70% of the land in Gambia is in some type of land dispute. Sometimes, and then I was thinking about all the people who rushed over there to buy land and encouraged other people to buy land, who were selling this land. All of them were selling land. And now look, all this land is in some type of land dispute. So again, everything is fair use. Then allegations, everything on this channel is alleged. Everything I talk about is alleged unless I say that it has been proven in a court of law. If I don't say that, then it's just alleged. All right. And then your opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. All right. So just because we say it, it's our opinion, that doesn't make it a fact. All right. So remember that. Okay, so I think that's it. I got through all of that stuff. Let me check my notes because that's all the legal stuff and I have to do that. All right, so what's going on with y'all? How y'all doing today? All right, we're talking about something again that bothered me immensely when I was in the Gambia. And that's what is actually happening with the youth in the Gambia. The youth in the Gambia are going through it. And anybody who sits back and watches can see it. And it doesn't take you long to see what's going on there. The youth are tired of going without, period. Just period. They're tired of going without. They're tired of looking at TikTok and all that other stuff on social media and seeing what other people have and realizing what they do not have. That's the worst thing that can happen is when you realize what you don't have, compared to everyone else. And this is what they want. So the way they're getting it is the way they see right in front of them, the easiest way. And the boys, well, I'm not going to say it's just the boys, it's also the girls. They see it as going to the back way. That's one way they see it. And another quick, cheaper way that they see it is to go and participate in the trade. To go down, you don't even have to go down to Senegambia. You don't have to go down there to really, be in the midst of it. You go down there, but you don't have to just go down there. You can really walk around anywhere in the Gambia. Anywhere. I don't know about all the way up north or, where all those small villages are, but I'm sure it goes on there too. So, it's happening to their youth, and that's what's really bothering me. It really, really bothered me because this is the first time I've seen it like that. This is the first time I've seen little girls walking around with those type of clothes on. I've never seen that before. Even here, you don't see that. They're not walking around in public in masses of them. It's not just one or two, it's groups of them. And this isn't just one night you see this. Oh no, it ain't just one night. It's just the norm. It's just how they dress. Okay. So that's what was really bothering me. So then when I said, I started thinking about something that I had heard a long time ago. And someone had did a documentary, I think it was the BBC, on this sex tourism in the Gambia and who were the people participating, and that these were older European people. But they said these were not older European people who were wealthy. These were European people who were really what they called budget tourists. Okay, they didn't have that much money. And so they were the type of tourists they found that were going to Gambia. And they were the ones who were participating in this trade. It wasn't the really wealthy people. It was because the trips, for one, were really inexpensive. Okay, it was really inexpensive to go. And then when you go, look at what's there. Somebody of a higher stature, they're going to expect more. You see what I mean? Even from a lower stature, they're going to expect more. So the fact that these people weren't expecting except what they got was okay. That right there was problematic for me. That right there was sending messages to me, all types of messages, because I'm like, I've been to this place, I don't know how many times, and it still looked like this. It still looked like gun smoke. Every place else around here is building up, developing, nice this, nice that. But when you get down to the tours, the place where the tour is supposed to go, it still look like this. The business owners are still allowed to let it look like this, and the government is doing nothing about it. Remember, I was complaining about that. I was complaining about that very thing when I was in the Gambia. Remember? I said, there's no way it should look like this. No way. Not, and this is your number one tourist attraction. This is what you're known for. You don't want to be known for that. You don't want to be known for that. So I was like, my mind was just perplexed, because I'm thinking, like I said, this is complaints. Are they complacent to what's going on? Do they do not care what's going on? Because I'm sure they see what's going on, because I see those Gambia tourism trucks all the time. When I was over in Senegambia, I saw those trucks just about every day riding through there. So I'm saying, I know you see what's going on. I know you see what it looks like. You have to see what it looks like. I know you've read the reviews, because I read the reviews. I've read them. So I was just like, what is really going on? And that's why I was shocked when I got this video, when I saw this video. All right, when I saw the video, I was like, oh my goodness. It's just like they heard everything we said. That's what it was like. It was like they heard everything we said. Yeah. So we're going to check out this video, and we're going to respond to this, and we're going to talk about the names of the people who are on this list, and how the people who are on this list, they feel like this is the worst thing that could happen to the Gambia, is for them to get torn down, and for some of them to have to follow, the code. Like, this is going to kill tourism. But I think it's going to kill one side of tourism, one aspect of the tourism. But I think that's what Gambia wants to do. Because remember, they put out a law a while ago about the passport grannies coming there, that they didn't want them coming there. Remember that? They did not want the European grannies coming there anymore. And they were supposed to be arrested on, but they never did. So remember, they had put that out. So if you have, let me pull up this. Hold on, I'm going to stop there and come back to y'all. Then we're going to pull up the video. Hey, DJ T, how y'all doing? Hey, Dove, how you doing? She says, one love, Kiki. Fiona. Hey, Fiona. Fiona saying hi to everybody. DJ T saying hi to Fiona. Everybody. Happy paddle time. Hey, he's saying, what's up, Kiki, in chat. He says, I am live from the Smiling Coast. How is it? Did you tell me about the lights? Tell me about the heat. Tell me about the rain. What's up? What's going on there? Are now known as the killing. Oh my God, he's right. And the crying coast. It is definitely real in the field. It is really sad. Heavy Pedal Time has been sending me these articles about what's going on with the youth in the Gambia, and it is worse than what we think, y'all. It is really, really bad. And if your kids are not being raised right, or if your kids don't have a future, then your country doesn't have a future. I don't know how you survive if you don't take care of your youth. You know what I'm saying? And that's been a problem in our community about our youth. That's why we're so concerned about them, because we know what happens when you don't take care of the youth. Kiki, they said over 70% of the court cases were land disputes. Okay, 70% of the court cases. Okay, that's what it was. 70% of Debo, hey. She said she's sorry, Heavy Pedal Time, she wasn't able to meet. She met up with Kiki in the Gambia, but the time went by fast. Hey, where are you at, Debo? Are you back? Hi Sharon. She's saying, hey y'all. Yeah, are you back? She might be back. I don't know. No, she said she want me back to July. So I don't know. Are you back, Debo Debo? So look, first I want to apologize, but y'all, I have been out of it for since I got back here. I was so drained from that experience that I just really was able to get up and move around. And today I haven't been able to just move around like I normally do because I've been just so exhausted and so drained from that whole experience. I was talking to my niece, and that's when I had came up with the first title when I said it was like I spent 3 weeks in the hood because that was the only thing I could compare it to. Because when I would go to my cousin's house, they lived straight up in the heart of the hood. Okay. So every summer I would go over there, right? And I would go over there and stay all night over there. And it would always seem like a different world to me. And that's what I liked about it. It was all exciting. A lot of times they didn't have lights. Sometimes they didn't have water. They would stay up real late at night. Everybody would be outside playing music, cooking out hours of the night. It was just things that went on over there that didn't go on in my neighborhood. So it was really exciting, but it was also exhausting at the same time. So that's what the Gambia was like to me this time. It was like just going to the heart of the hood and staying there, where you just see all the prostitution, you see all the deals that go down, you just see everything. That's what it was like for me this time. And and I wouldn't say it was because people will say, well, that's because you were staying in Senegambia and you can't judge everything by, but remember, I didn't stay in Senegambia the whole time. Remember, I started off way out in, I think it was Bruford. It was on the other side of Bruford is where I started off at. It was like almost in the village. That's where I started off at. That's where the man was harassing me at. Remember? That was the one where I had to leave, where the man felt like he could sexually harass me. Harass me. Remember that one? So that's how it all started. And that's what I mean. Like these assumptions that they have about women were really bad this time. It seems like these negative assumptions they have about women from the West have just gotten really worse. That was the main thing. That was the first thing that I noticed was this sexual harassment, and that this man thought it was okay to talk to me like that. That's okay. And then the owner, he's telling me that this is, the host, blah, blah, blah. We don't do that. And it had to be, something to make him feel like, but all these younger women, no, he didn't say younger, all these single women who have came and stayed here previously. And so that lets me think, well, what was going on with those single women who stayed there previously? I'm not the first person he's done that to. This is what this man does. And this man enjoys that. There are sick, perverted people who enjoy that, who enjoy talking about sex and sex moves and sex and this, that, and the other, talking about it to other people. They enjoy that and they get off on that. And that man was getting off on that. That's why they made me leave there. That's why they said leave there immediately. Immediately. So this is how we started off. And I'm like, oh, I done been to Africa too many times. This ain't never happened to me. Never. So what is going on here? Then we get to the next place. They trying to hustle me out of some money, and it say on clearly on there, if it's not on the thing, on the Airbnb, if it's not on the price, they can't add it. It clearly says that. But then they're trying to add more prices on, and I'm like, but it say you ain't supposed to do that. So why are you trying to do that when it clearly say you ain't supposed to do that? So it was like I was constantly having to be on guard, constantly. I've never had to do that where I was I had to constantly have my A game on, and I didn't like that. And I constantly had to have my West Side Dayton hat on. And I don't like that. Because when I have to think like that, that makes me tired. Because I'm always thinking about what I'm thinking and what that next person is thinking. It's like I got to think about what they're gonna do, and then I got to think about what I'm gonna do. And that's a lot of thinking. That's why I don't like to be in environments like that. So this is telling me, oh man, it done got worse over here. And it done got worse real quick. But when you look around you, there's so many new houses, so many brand new buildings, so many brand new apartments. And these are top notch, like really nice apartments, really nice houses. Really nice. I mean, really nice. You wouldn't expect this stuff to be going on there. But it is. So, I'm like, oh, so this is what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna be trying to run game the whole time I'm here for real? Y'all gonna really be trying to do this? So I'm like, okay, so this is what we doing. So that's why y'all see that video. So this is what we own, Gambia, because that's when I realized, oh, this is what we doing. So we own this. Yeah, we own this time. This time we own playing people, and we don't even care. We gonna do it out in the open. We're going to play you. We having a hard time over here. We struggling and things is hard for us. So guess what? We're going to make it hard for you too. And we ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that's what it was. That's how they started off. They let me know that's what it was going to be. And that's what it was. And it got worse. So after we left that place, we go to Tamale. All right. Now remember, this is rattling my mind. I can't get comfortable in one place at all. I cannot, because I got to keep moving from place to place because there's issues. And I'm thinking, why is it this many issues going on in these places when you pay all of this money for these places? They should have these issues should be taken care of. Okay. There's no way a tourist should come from another country and come there and there's no lights, and there's no lights for days and hours. And it's just the norm that there's no lights, and that you expect that tourist to tolerate that. And not only I expect you to tolerate, I'm going to charge you for it. So I'm like, wait a minute, Gambia, you can't be serious. Well, where does this happen? Only in the hood. Only in the hood do they do you like that. And I'm like, no, this can't be real. This can't be life. This can't be how it's going to go down. So finally they get the generator. And I'm not lying. I'm not lying. If you think Gambia did not have this nationwide blackout power outage when I was there, they still having it. But they say it's back up to 50% or something like that. But it's still power outages on the norm. All right. So they get that power, they get it fixed, and they say they got it back up and whatever. But we have to move again. So in the meantime, we move again. Then I run into this person who really cannot stand women who are of my complexion. All right. This person cannot stand women who are of my complexion. And this is just my opinion because of the words he was saying to me. He said I was yapping. Okay. Only dogs yap. All right. So basically you're calling me a dog. He told me all you do is yap. That's what he said to me. And I said, yap. But see, this is a business transaction. Who uses the word yap during a business transaction? And that's when I realized, oh, this country don't have no respect for women. And they allow this to go on. They allow the women here to be sexually assaulted. They allow the women here to be verbally abused. Now, this is from my experience, because there's no way you're going to make me think that they're just doing this to me. There's no way. They're not going to this man is not going to just disrespect me and only me. No, and he wasn't even talking to me. We were texting. He hadn't even heard my voice. He just saw my picture. So you're yapping. And I'm like, yapping? I don't yap. I talk. He didn't want to fix anything. He called me a liar, and just the way he was talking to me. And then he had the nerve to call me a racist F word. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. You don't even know what racism is. You're so stupid. You don't even know what racism is. But the whole thing is, he wanted to insult me. You see what I mean? He wanted to insult me. He just knew that was a bad word. He didn't know how to use it. Okay, he knew the F word was a bad word. He knew those two words were bad words in my culture, and he wanted to use them at me to insult me, but he didn't know how to do it. You see what I mean? But the fact that you wanted to insult me because I look the way I do, because you know nothing about me other than what I look like, and because I hold you accountable. This man even went as far as to say that I went into his Airbnb account and changed the information. Okay? And changed the information. This is what he's telling Airbnb, that I was the one who changed the description, that he had in there. I was going to be facing a constructed building, and that's all I was going to see every day, all day for 12 days, which was a complete lie. So, but for some reason, you are in this environment that you feel like it's okay to treat women that way. And you have to, because you did it freely. So that accompanied with what I was seeing on the street, my mind was being blown over and over and over and over again. It was like I couldn't relax. I couldn't, because it was too much going on around me. I'm looking at these kids, these young girls, and the way they're dressed, everything hanging out, and y'all letting them do this? These little young boys, they just doing anything, being the most disrespectful they can. That's just what you do. And I'm like, it's too many of them for y'all to let them get off the hook. Y'all can't let these little boys get off the chain because it's too many of them. It's way too many of them. But that's what I see. These little boys getting off the chain constantly. So I'm like, okay, so this is going crazy over here. This is going nuts over here. And then just to see the droves and droves of them just going into Senegambia every night to kick it with these older Europeans was just draining to my soul. It was just draining. So I was just like, I'm done. I'm ready to come back. I was just like, y'all done tow up the West Africa. Y'all done tow up the Gambia. Y'all have allowed this foolishness to continue to go on over here. We were taken up out of here, but y'all stayed here and y'all just sold the country out. Y'all just treat the country like it ain't nothing. But then y'all want to always say you love Gambia. No, you don't. If you love Gambia, it wouldn't look like this. It would not be like this. And then I get home. I see this video. Hold on. Because y'all know I was on here going off about that. I was going clean off about that. So let me show y'all this video. So I was just, this guy, let me show y'all his channel first. Okay. His name is Edmund Kings. All right. And he is a YouTube person. And he is a Nigerian YouTube person, but he's in the Gambia currently. All right. And he does a lot of nice little videos about Gambia. And he shows you around, different things that, helpful information about the Gambia. All right. So this is his channel, and I'm subscribed to his channel. So I watch his videos. So I saw this video come up about this one, the shocking business of the one. Let me go back to the full title. Hold on. So I saw this video come up, and it's called Shocking Business Demolition News in Senegambia, Duplex Junction and Gambia. Duplex Junction, the Gambia. So I'm like, oh, okay. And I said, let me check that out. So I remember. So you guys remember when Gambia had torn down all those little companies, those people who were selling on the street. Okay, remember that? So this was pretty much the same type of thing. So hold on, let me go get y'all questions before we go check this out. Because this video right here, when I saw that, I was like, wow, it seemed like they heard everything we were saying. Everything. Everything. Because if you would, the people who are on this list, it's unbelievable. They didn't care. They didn't care who you were. If you was not doing what you were supposed to do, you got on the list. If you didn't pay your, some people had the nerve. I told y'all when I was in Cameroon, they were doing that. People have had the nerve to build a whole beach bars with no permit. Been there 20 years, 10, 20 years. No, I've never paid for a permit. So you shouldn't be there. Yeah, 10, 20 years, no permit. But guess what? Party over. Party over. So let me take y'all comments and then we're going to look at this. Oh, she is back in New York. Oh, you back home. Oh, you did tell. I didn't know you was back home. That seemed like that was fast. Hi, African Goddess. So African Goddess says, are white tourists tolerating this? Just wondering. Well, they're tolerating it because they're benefiting from it. You see what I mean? When we went to Gambia, we truly went to Gambia to invest. We went to rebuild. We truly went to make things right over there in our minds. All right. We were not there by and large to participate in sex tourism. We were not doing that over there. We were helping schools. We were helping, different people, different organizations. We came to do that. So that was a different tourist because Black Americans were going, but not like they were going during that COVID time. There was a lot going during that year of the return. So a lot of us, they got a new type of tourist then. You see what I mean? They got a new tourist who wanted to invest in tourism, who wanted to invest in the economy. Then they have this ecotourism, this whole ecotourism field that they want to expand upon. And they knew they could not do that with these passport grannies who were coming there. All right, because the passport grannies have been coming there for a long, long time. And they wanted to stop that. So that was their biggest issue, was how do we get this to stop? So I'm trying to see if I can find that article, because there was an article a long time ago in the Gambia passed a law about the European women, grandmas coming there. So let me see if I can find it and pull it up. And I really think they're going, this is what they're, oh yeah, so here it is. Okay. All right, so hold on. Let me go back over to your comments. So yes, that I think that's why it was never developed. Because remember, I told you I was looking at it and I was like, I wonder why, if this was in the United States and it was your tourism place, it wouldn't look like this. If it was where you were making your money, it wouldn't look like this. And I couldn't understand that. I couldn't understand why no money looked like it was invested in it. I said, where is this money going? Because they're definitely not putting it back into the business. And you could see that. You can just walk down Senegambia Strip and see there's no money going back. Not the price of what they charge. Not what they charge. I went to one of these little raggedy places and they charged me, I think it was $1,350 Dalasi, $1,350 Dalasi for some frozen TV dinner pasta. Okay, it looked just like a frozen TV dinner and a mango juice. I looked at that and I just shook my head and I said, wow, for this pathetic food, you're charging this much. And I said, no, this is not about the food. People are not coming here to eat the food. People are not coming here to enjoy the scenery. Because remember, I told you I had to get up and move twice because at both of the restaurants previous to the third one, there were just young people with older Europeans and they were just rubbing them up. I couldn't take that. I couldn't see you just keep rubbing them up all in front of me. It was just making me sick. And then I go to the next one and then I see the same thing. And I'm like, oh, they're just going to keep rubbing them up. That's just what they do here. Rub them up in public and nobody says anything. So yeah, they're just tolerating it. So let me show you how much they're tolerating it. It's what they go there for, to keep it a buck. That's what they go there for. That's why there's no investment in the businesses, in the buildings. So it says Gambia, UK grandmothers to seek toy boys elsewhere. Let me make sure y'all can see this. Yeah. So, and they're sick of this. I'm so glad. So this is 2022. And they said the Gambia is a popular destination for older European and Western women seeking relationships with younger local men, a phenomenon sometimes referred to as love tourism. Local laws, cultural debates, and social economic factors shape this dynamic. So they said the Tourism Offensive Act passed in 2003. So this was passed way back in 2003. They knew this was a problem. This law sets strict rules to protect minors from sexual exploitation. So this was going on so bad in 2003 that you passed a law. Okay. It makes sexual exploitation of anyone under 18 a serious crime. Wow. So if they're 18, you can exploit them. Hotel managers can face up to 5 years in prison if they knowingly allow child prostitution on their property. So no one would need these laws, people, unless this is a problem. So please don't say, this is just because you was in the Senegambia. No. For them to pass a law way back in 2003, this a big problem. This a big problem. Then they had to say 18. If they're 18, it's okay. Consent age. While child prostitution is illegal up to the age of 18, the legal age of consent in Gambia is 16. What age did I tell y'all they were going down there? You can consent at 16. They were younger than that. They were younger than 16. Adult relationship, consensual, romantic, and transactional relationships between consenting adults over 18 are legal. So if you're 18, you can do it. The toy boy bumpster culture, they says it's economic inequality. We know that. Transactional exchange, we know that. Most of these people come from the UK, the Netherlands, and Scandinavia. So the tourism, this is the people who we're talking about tonight, the Gambian Tourism Board, okay? They're the one making these moves to shut this stuff down. All right, so the Tourism Board says officials in the Gambia have expressed concern about how these dynamics shape the country's international image. What did I tell y'all? Nobody's going to take you serious when this is what you do and this is what you're known for. I told y'all, nobody is. Until you change that, they ain't going to have nothing to do with you. No, they're not. The Gambia Tourism Board has actively campaigned to discourage older tourists from visiting strictly to seek younger toy boys. The focus on quality tourists. The Gambian government has voiced a desire, to shed its reputation as a haven. A haven, y'all. They said they're known as a haven. That means that's just where you go and do that. I told you. Now, please, all these people, where they at? Where they at now that was talking about, oh, it's only because you were in Senegambia. But the Gambia's government called it a haven. that they have a reputation as being a haven for sex tourism. They have pushed to rebrand the country by targeting quality tourists who support the broader local economy rather than specific individuals. And that was way back in 2022. All right, here's a video. Let's watch this real quick. Hold on one second.
News update. Gambia. The Gambia has warned all British women to stop traveling to the country to pay young Gambian men for sex and love. Gambia is finally clamping down on British grannies flocking to the country, searching for toy boys, and is desperate for quality tourists to visit the country. The tiny West African nation has been a haven for older women seeking a lover or partner for many years. But the country is now sick of its reputation as a sex hotspot for mature women from Britain and Europe. Abubakar Kamara, director of the Gambia Tourism Board, has said that the country wants tourists that come to enjoy the country and the culture, but not tourists that come just for sex. Sex tourism in the nation has been booming since the 1990s when budget package tours to the former British colony became popular. 2 years ago, there was a documentary titled Sex on the Beach, which shocked viewers when reporter Seyi Rhodes found bars packed full of elderly women in search of younger Gambian men.
Yeah, that's the one I saw, Sex on the Beach. I could not believe that. That was just horrible. That was horrible.
One pensioner told Seyi that the country was paradise because you can have a different man every night. The country
She sure did. She said you could have a different man every night. And I sat up in my bed and I said, but why would you want one? Why would you want that? I mean, think about that. You can have a different man every night. Who in the world wants a different man every night? Something's wrong with you if you want or you need a different man every night. There is something seriously wrong with you, and you need to get some help for that.
Was once described as a real-life Tinder dream for geriatrics, but now the government is considering introducing laws that give police powers to arrest local beach boys and older women engaged in suspect relationships. The so-called Senegambia Strip near the capital city Banjul has become a Benidorm-type hotspot for lonely British pensioners as tourists account for 20% of the country's GDP. The government is said to be backing the move to clean up its tourist trade by considering laws to crack down on such acts, with a government official calling on the UK government to stop British grannies exploiting young Gambian men. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.
Okay, so that's how bad the problem is there. Okay, that's how bad. I'm just shaking up my water, y'all. That's how bad it is. It's a serious problem. This is a serious problem. And it's not just the grannies, honey. It's the grandpas too. It's the grannies and the grandpas. Yeah, it's getting worse. See, DeBo said it is. It's just mind-boggling. I can't believe how bad it is. I just can't. So that lets me know there's something really going on with the economy. But I think it's that uneven development. I think it's that rapid development that's going on. And then these are the repercussions of that rapid development. Positive Joy. You know what? I seen your message about hooking up when I was in the Gambia, but I'm sorry. I didn't see it until late. And by that time, I was already back. But you know what? The next time I go, I would be glad to hook up with whoever wants to hook up. I really enjoy meeting people. So it would be great to hook up with you. And there was another lady. So just let me know because I go every year. Yeah, customer service there was horrible. But that's why I said I needed Airbnb. People were like, well, why did you use Airbnb? Why didn't you, you shouldn't have used, yes, I should have used Airbnb because if I would not have used Airbnb, that would have just left me and the owner arguing. No. And they argue with women. They do not respect you at all as a woman. No, honey. No. The fact that you calling the shots about your own money puts them in some type of attitude towards you, and they don't like that. So if I didn't have Airbnb, there's no telling what situation I would have been in, because they were the one that was getting, solving this situation. They're the ones who got my money back, who gave me the money back. These people weren't trying to give me no money back. And this man had the nerve to say, so she gets to cancel the reservation and there's no repercussions for her. She doesn't get to lose anything. She doesn't have to lose anything. No, I don't, because you disrespected me. So just think, if it was just me and him, I wouldn't have got my money back. I would have had to stay in that little raggedy dump, or he could have put me out. They can't keep it going like this. If they keep it going the way it's going, it's just going to be detrimental, so detrimental to their society. It's going to be just teenage pregnancy is going to get out of control. Drug abuse is going to get out of control. All these other issues that Heavy Pedal Time has talked to me about are going to get out of control. There are people, I don't even know how to get y'all these little young people who have been, I'm trying to tell y'all some of these stories that he told me about. They're on What's Up Gambia? What's on Gambia? And, it's just different stories of young people just doing things that are just, like I said, detrimental to your society. And if you don't get this under control, it's not going to get better. These things don't get better. And they don't get better on their own. That's another thing. You have to put stuff in place to stop this stuff from happening. You have to. If you don't, it won't get better. Hold on, let me see if I can find this article. It just gets worse. And that's what you're seeing when you go over there. It's unbelievable. It's just, that's the only thing I can tell you. It's just totally unbelievable what you see when you are over there. Okay. All right, let me show y'all this. And this is like one of their newspapers. All right, so let's see how many stories they have in here about what's going on with these youth over there. So this is, and she booked an apartment on Banana Lounge in Bruford. What is this one? And she stayed, and 3 bulldogs. And she said that while they were staying there, her husband sold his land in Bruford for $600,000. He kept the money in a suitcase at the apartment. The money was meant to be used, and somebody took it. Yeah, somebody entered their apartment and stole it. Okay, so this one is, look at this, y'all. Wow, didn't I tell y'all? 4 hours ago, the police have a hot potato on their hands right now. 2 of their officers face allegations of impregnating two under 18 girls, one in Brikama and the other in Soma. When are they going to arrest them and put them behind bars? The police deserve to know. Wow. So 2 girls are pregnant. What did I tell you about teenage pregnancy? Yeah, because that's what happens with these situations. Yeah, this is what happens with these situations. So this says love, an iPhone, and a broken heart. Okay, so there were also a couple of people who were unalived that he was telling me about. A couple of people were unalived. These are some Gambians that was sent to prison in UK. There were a couple of people that was unalived last week. And then there was a young girl. Her father had gotten in trouble because it was 2 boys who, wow, this guy is a serial rapist. And look how young he looked. She had sex with these two guys for a cell phone. So they said, was the president aware that he was 7 months pregnant, was sleeping in her home? And okay, this is the man who allegedly entered her home and raped her. So this is a great situation here. So let's see. So just go on here and you can just look and you can get an idea. So it says, I guess this is a song about what they're going through. So you can go listen to that. So there's a lot of stuff on here. But there was a little girl on a cell phone, okay? So she was doing a do with these two boys for a cell phone. All right. Then there was a guy who beat up his wife. Wow, look, y'all. This little boy. Oh my God, he was 18 years old. He was remanded to 2 Mile after allegedly stabbing a 23-year-old to death during a music event in St. Charles in Bajacunda. Look, I told y'all, if we fail to tackle the growing drug problem in our streets and stop the sale of alcohol-infused energy drinks in the mini markets, we will continue to see more young people drawn into violent crime. I told y'all. Dusty communities, including, well, they're just naming a whole bunch of communities. Yep. Wow. So he stabbed somebody, killed him. They said he's on drugs. These people are on drugs and alcohol. So this is the one who beat up her. He beat up his wife because she served him. I don't know what this is. Not mixed with Benachin, and he had no idea. Okay, and he beat up his wife. Here she go, right here, because I guess he didn't want that to eat, so he beat her up. So these are the things that's going on over there. All right. Two young men were fighting. One threw a stone at the other and ran into the police station. The other chased him into the station, and the fight continued. So let's look at this one. But this is supposed to be the place that's so much better than the United States. So much better. Who is this? Oh, the police are. So it said the police are trying to separate them, but they were unsuccessful. Oh, so that's them trying to break up the fight. Wow. So this is the things that's going on in the place where they're telling us to go to. Okay. So this is some of the stuff I wanted to point out to you guys. All right. All right. Now let me get back over here to y'all questions. Positive Joy says Gambia is a joke and dangerous now. Yeah, it really is. Debo says she loves Gambia, but the tourism is wild. Oh my God, it's terrible. It has gotten so much worse than before. It's really bad now. I told you, it's out of control. Thank God was back and forth between Senegal and the Gambia before coming back home to New York. I hear Senegal, but it goes on there too, so don't get it twisted. Senegal is just as bad, if not worse. All right, because they do same-sex tourism. All right, look it up. They'll tell you. Goree Island, same sex tourism. Because see, people like different things. I told y'all that. They like different things. So some people like, heterosexual, some like homosexual. Yeah. And they know where to go to get the homosexual. Let me look it up for you and show you the article. Yeah. It's called sex tourism. You just look it up and they'll tell you what countries. How do you think they find out? It's like a whole little network. They let you know where you can go and get your fix. Yep, it's what they do. That's what they do. All right, so hold on, let me tell you a list of countries. Wait a minute. Countries. Okay. Yeah, Senegal is one for that. I did a show on this a long time ago. South Africa is one of them. Seychelles is one of them. Botswana, Mozambique, Cape Verde, Madagascar, Rwanda, Kenya, Morocco. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of them. I told y'all. Wow, they got Gambia on here. Oh, wow. Gambia, Niger, Burkina Faso. Senegal is long known for its discreet coastal tourism. Senegal passed a law doubling its prison terms for same-sex relationships. Ghana, Nigeria, they maintain some of the harshest laws. Wait a minute, these are the laws. I don't want that. I don't want that. These are the laws with the harshest laws. That's not what I want. Hold on. I don't want the harshest laws. Because Nigeria is not on that list. I can tell you that. I already did a story about it. It's on my channel, actually. All right, let me come back over here to y'all. Okay, Cape Verde is one. It said Cape Verde. Any transactional same-sex encounters that do occur in the region are informal, highly hidden, and heavily influenced by economic we know that. That's disparities. The regional except Cape Verde is one of them. Wow, they said the main, listen to this. See, this done changed since the last time I done this, y'all. Woo, this is scary. Listen, let me put this up here so y'all can see this. Whoa, this is bad. Hold on. Oh, this is real bad. I didn't even know this was like this. See, it's changed. All right, let me see. Oh, let me show y'all. My water done fell over. That's how shocking it is. Where's it at? Oh, wow. Same-sex tourism. Here it is right here. Y'all look. So it says same-sex tourism in West Africa is extremely limited, strictly underground, and carries severe safety and legal risks. Unlike other parts of the world, there are no open and institutionalized pink tourism markets here due to the intense social taboos and wave of aggressive laws criminalizing that behavior. Any transactional same-sex encounters that do occur in the region are informal and highly hidden. The regional exception, Cape Verde. Cape Verde is an island nation and stands out as so there they said you can do it there. Okay, they're the only one where you can be LGBT, where you can be that. Okay, homosexual activity has been legal since 2004. The country bans workplace discrimination, everything against them. So you can go there. The main informal hub, listen to this. Can y'all see this? This is bad. This is a shameful shame before God. And this is supposed to be a Muslim country. Wow. The main informal hub, the Gambia. The bumpster dynamic, the Gambia coastal beaches, especially along the Senegambia Strip, are intentionally recognized, are internationally recognized hubs for transactional relationships between older Western tourists and young local men known as bumpsters. The same-sex market, while the vast majority of tourism involves heterosexual older women, a smaller, highly discreet segment involves older Western men seeking local bumpsters for paid companionship and sex. And you know what? When the BBC guy did his show about sex on the beach, there was a guy on there talking about that. Yes, he was. He was talking about how he engages in this same sex activity with these tourists just so he can get money. Exactly. But he said, I don't consider myself gay. So Gambia is one of them. In the rest of mainland West Africa, same-sex tourism is non-existent. It's nearly non-existent. Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, no, Ghana. But this isn't true, and I don't have really time to go look through this because I know this isn't true because I've done stories about this, and there's more than just Gambia. There's way more than Gambia. Senegal is one of them. South Africa is another one. Let's see what they say. They're telling you it's high risk. They're telling you about the laws. But no, does it go on there? See how they're not trying to tell us it goes on there? Yeah, does it go on? Yeah, it goes on. Just tell me, yes. Thank you. I know it does. Yeah, we know it ain't going on. We know it's not happening out in the open. Okay. But does it go on? Yes. It's called a holiday friend. A holiday friend. Now, see, why did I have to do all this to get it to come up? Yes, it does go on there, but they've cracked it down. They drastically shrunk and immense government crackdowns in 2026. So they just started a crackdown in 2026. It doesn't exist as open, organized, or as a safe market. Wow. It's called a holiday friend in the coastal resort towns like Sally or parts of Dakar. Some of the older Western male tourists still travel to find local male companions because of the intense danger these relationships. Yes. Yeah. So this is really bad. Why they trying to play it down, I don't know, but this is really, really, really bad. Yeah, Senegal is nice. The Senegal is better overall. Years ago, old white people from the UK used to spend their winters in the Gambia. Yeah, and that's what they were doing over there. That's what they were doing, because what else would they be doing? You're not getting no good food. You're not getting no good water. You're not getting no good roads. You're not getting no electricity. What else is you doing over there? They spend this, yeah, they spend all the time over there. Makes sense. Senegalese people hold their government accountable. to make the country good. So now that they've cracked down on it. In Kenya, yeah, that's another one. She's right. Kenya's another one where they do it. She says she can't even discuss the things she saw. The laws are not working. It's getting worse. It's been going on for years. Yes, it has. Heavy Pedal Times says the power is staying on longer. 24 hours blackouts are over for the moment. Thank God. What laws in the Gambia? All right. So I didn't experience power loss there no more than 60 seconds. Thank God. Well, yeah, that's how it was when I moved down to Senegambia. It was different. See, Senegambia, I showed you how the lights just click on and click off, and they weren't even clicking on and clicking off like that. The last couple of days I was there, they was clicking on and clicking off, but they have power down there pretty regularly. It's 16 in Georgia. We'll clarify. Well, clearly they are doing a roaring trade, and okay. I thought it was only Senegal. No, it is not. It's all over. It's not just the older white women being with younger men. I saw older white men with young girls as well. Some of the women had the children with them. Yes, and it's not just the men with. And then you got to understand this picture, y'all. It's everything you can imagine. Okay, it's men with men. It's women, but they'll come off like they're friends. But then you'll sit there and you'll think, but why are you two friends? That relationship don't look right. Or you'll see a kid, like just a random kid with these people. And you're like, why are you with these people? Or you'll see like an older white man, like older, with a mixed kid. And you're like, what are you doing with this kid? And the kid clearly looks uncomfortable. It's that type of stuff. And you see it like all the time. And you can spot it, or you'll see the men, you see it all. So don't think it's just one way. It's just the women. No, it's not just them. It is not just them. Yeah, they nasty and they have no morals. Yeah, they nasty and they have no morals. 20% of the GDP, they can't afford to stop it. No, they can't afford to stop it. But they can change their tourism. And that's what we're about to talk about. So they realize we can't afford to stop tourism, but we got to do something like this because we do not want to be known for this. We do not want to be known for a haven. And what it's doing to our economy and doing to our young people is crazy. And I just shared a little bit with you what was going on in their economy. No, they have no respect for women. It's very common there. The wife looks like a kid. Yeah, he looked like a kid too. I feel like sex tourism in Senegal isn't so in your face like in the Gambia. Well, because it's on the island. You have to go to Goree Island. If you go to Goree Island, it's going to be in your face. They kind of keep it hidden. Senegal might keep their stuff a little bit on the low, more than Gambia can keep it on the low. But no, Senegal is no better. Nigeria has a great festival every year. Yeah, that's what I heard. Doesn't surprise me. I've seen a lot of Gambian men holding hands with male tourists and see why. Exactly. And you'll be like, why? I remember I seen this video about this white guy. He was a European guy, and he was touring through Gambia with this young Gambian dude. And it was clear. It was so obvious that they were lovers. They would have arguments. They would sleep in the same room. And it was so obvious. And everybody was acting like they didn't know they were lovers. And I'm like, are y'all serious right now? Y'all don't know they're lovers? Chosen One says, she's talking about the festival. Positive says they need to be exposed. Hi, Chosen One. Sounds hypocritical. Notice they are only addressing women. What about men? Yeah, the men are doing it too. Yeah, the men are doing it too. So this is what we're going to look at now. All right. Now, I said, wherever I was just really upset and I was saying the government needs to do more, the government is complacent. Well, whenever the government wants to do things, okay, they'll use their policies to get it done. Okay, so the easiest way, like if you are a problem and I want to get rid of you, the easiest way to do that is with the zoning board. Okay, I go look at the land use policies. Okay, and I'll go look at zoning and I make sure you're following all of those rules because 9 times out of 10, you're not. All right, and when you're not following them, and that's how the city can get you. Okay, when they want to get rid of you, they use their land use laws. Okay, so they want to get rid of these people. They want this move right here. Let me know that they want to get rid of these people. All right, now let's check this out. I think this is a really good move, but these people who work down here don't. So let's check out this video and talk about it, y'all. So this guy, Edmund, he works down here, and you know what? I walked right past where he was working. Okay, hold on. This is his video. All right, so
it's your boy Edmund King.
All right, so we're gonna check out his video. All right, y'all. And he's the one who broke the news. Nobody else has really said anything. This is the only video I've seen about this. All right, so I do suggest you guys subscribe to his channel because he gives you a lot of good information about the Gambia, like information you can use. It's like a resource channel, kind of like this channel. All right, so let's check out this video.
Let's go see the restaurants and bars in Senegambia area or Palmarima area where they want to demolish. I don't know if you've heard the news, but let's go check it out together. Stay tuned. So before we take a taxi, let's pay attention to cleanliness in the Gambia. Let's dispose our refuse properly. All right, so I'm gonna take. All right, let's cross. So we're gonna see the restaurants that are affected. I'm gonna go around back.
Well, this is where I lived at, y'all.
The tourist, the Senegambia Strip.
So I lived right around the corner from here, and I did not even realize it. Yeah, right around the corner from here.
All right, so stay tuned. So just take a walk with me. We all know the Gambia Tourism Board is also known as GT Board. So a lot of people are actually confusing it by saying GTB. You know, we all know GTB means GT Bank, right? So this is not about GT Bank. It's about Gambia Tourism Board. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you through to the affected parts. And if you know more areas that are affected by this demolition, so let me know. So I think everything is just about road expansion. And I heard some places having illegal structures on it. But it's just raising a lot of emotions, man.
Well, let me tell you what. So this is what I want y'all to see. This is what Gambia, this is what they're doing. Okay. See how this, they want it to be like this. Ours is a little different. Like this, we would call this a gutter. It wouldn't be this long, this wide, but we would have the gutter on the outside and have this sidewalk part on the inside. Okay. They want it to be more like that. Okay. Where there's a parking, then there's, you know, that shouldn't be right there because that's dangerous. But they want that gutter space and then they want that walkway. They want it to be like this. This is what like every city has a plan, right? This is their plan. All right. This is what they planned for their city to look like. So if you're not in accordance with this plan, then that means you're wrong. And that means I can go in the zoning department and I can write you a ticket every single day. All right. And then I can go to court and ask the judge to label you a nuisance. And then after I do that, you get labeled a nuisance. I will get you back. I will get my land back from you.
It's also known as GT Board. So a lot of people are actually confusing it by saying GTB. You know, we all know GTB means GT Bank, right? So this is not about GT Bank. It's about Gambia Tourism Board. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you through to the affected parts, and if you know more areas that are affected by this demolition, so let me know. So I think everything is just about road expansion, and I heard some places are having illegal structures on it, but it's just raising a lot of emotions, man. Like a lot of people who have businesses for
And
the
that was
past
the
20
problem
years
in
on the
Cameroon.
strip.
Remember when I told you I used to work in Cameroon? When I went there for it was a service learning project. All right. So part of it, your service is you work for free. All right. So I worked for the local government for free. That was a big problem there, y'all. You would not believe how many people will just build something without a permit, without a license, without anything. They'll just go build a whole structure. And then you have to go in as the zoning department, you have to cite them a violation, and you have to keep going around and around with them. And then eventually you're going to take it and tear it down. But that was a really big problem in Cameroon, was these people building without permits.
Are gonna lose most part of their bars or restaurants. So I want to know what your comments are. I'm going to be reading from ChatGPT about this, and I'm going to walk you through. So I'm going to walk to the other side and continue the video. So according to ChatGPT, it says not that all restaurants along the Senegambia Strip, Pamarima, or Pokoloko areas are being demolished. Rather, the authorities say they're carrying out enforcement against unauthorized structures and businesses operating within the Tourism Development Area, TDA. Okay, so according to the most official or the most recent official notes, Jitterbot says all land within the Tourism Development Area is governed under the Gambia Tourism Board Act 2011, and businesses must have both legal and land authorization and tourism operation licenses. So beach bars and restaurants operating without authorization have been instructed to regular, regularize the occupation of the land, obtain the required licenses, and comply with planning and environmental regulations. The board states that operators who fail to comply could face administrative action, including closure or removal of unauthorized structures. The board has explained the board has explained that the enforcement is intended to address illegal occupation of tourism land, encroachment onto beaches, environmental degradation and coastal erosion, poor sanitation, obstruction of public beach access, and unregulated construction within the tourism development area. So,
Okay, so let me
if
tell you.
this is T,
Let me tell you what he just said. Okay, I'm gonna summarize it. So basically, what the Gambian Tourism Board did, they went after two things. Okay, they said this is a problem. All right, and I told y'all when we want to get rid of somebody, what we're gonna do, we're gonna use those land use policies. All right, we're gonna go after zoning. That's the easiest way to get them. All right. So what they did was they said, okay, we're gonna get these people who don't have permits, and then we're going to go after the people who are violating, who have permits, but they're violating our land policy in some type of way. All right. So those are the two things that they went after. Hold on, let me make sure I'm saying that right, because this is very important that you understand this. There's two big things going on right now over there. They're going after one, these beach bars, mainly these beach bars, who decided it was a good idea to build on the beach. Okay. Okay, so wait a minute. They target the beach bars operating without approval or operating unlawfully within the tourism development area. Okay, that area is all called the tourism development area. Okay, and the location is stretches from this area called Kotu to Kartong. This covers the area up to, it's like 800 meters inland away from the ocean. Okay, affected operators are instructed to contact the GTB, the Gambian Tourism Board, to get legal operating licenses. Failure to do so will result in a closure. All right, you can get closed for that. So let's finish. Okay, they didn't publicly release the names of those people who were on this list who did not have a permit. Okay, but what they did, they issued a blanket enforcement notice. So they went around and they gave all these businesses who were violating this policy a notice. So in the notice, who was targeted, let me show, okay, first we're going to look at the ones he tell us, and I'm going to tell you why they were targeted.
TGs, TGS, GTS. So if any of these restaurants I'm going to show you. I'm reading through ChatGPT. So just let me know if any of the restaurants you're seeing in the video are affected. Like there's also here, but I don't think this is by the roadside. I think they're trying to expand the road or something. So last night I overheard like they actually got to Dabos. So this is Gusto. I don't think Gusto will be affected. But let me know in the comment section if you have more information about it.
See,
So I'm going to
Gusto's
move
and
closer. I'm trying to
El
record this
Sol,
quickly.
Gusto and El Sol are back off the road. They're not up here. You see, they're not encroaching upon the road. They're not doing that. They're staying back where, like if you see El Sol was back here. No,
The board stays that.
It's up here further.
I'm reading
Sol
through
is back off
ChatGPT. So just let me know if any of the rest.
and Gusto's is back off the road also. So they're see, that's El Sol. See how El Sol is back off the road? It ain't way up here. See these signs, all they got to do is remove them signs, but they're not on the road. Okay, Gusto's is the same way. Gusto's is not on the road.
On the road or something. So last night I overheard like they actually got to Dabos. So this is Gusto. I don't think Gusto will be affected. But let me know in the comment section if you have more information about this. So I'm gonna move closer. I'm trying to record this quickly.
Davos is on the road.
All right, so
Davos is right on the road.
So this means a lot to a lot of business owners in the Gambia on the strip. Those who have invested a lot, those who've made this their home, those who have staff, have employed a lot of Gambians and foreigners. Like a lot of people actually walk on the strip. So let me know in the comment section how this affects you and how it's going to affect tourism as a whole in the Gambia. So this is Bamboo. I don't think it's affecting this place, but I'm hearing that it's getting to doubles. So I'm recording so you guys can tell me which areas are really affected. All right, so that's why. And this is Wild Monkey. So
see, look at Wild
I don't
Monkey.
know why.
Look at Wild Monkey. Wild Monkey is right on the road. Wild Monkey should be no way should it start right here. There's no way you should step out the bar and step on the road. You know how dangerous that is of you getting hit by a car?
They're trying to, a lot of people are saying like they should leave it the way it is. Like this is a strip. This is what tourists actually travel all the way from all over the world to come see. Right?
Well, I don't know who would travel.
So I don't know.
I don't know who look at this, y'all. I don't know if y'all can even get the full effect of this. I don't know who would be traveling as long as we have to travel and as much as you have to pay to come and see this. Look at the road alone. And you got to walk through this bumpy road and it ain't safe. Who is traveling all over the world to see this? Who's doing that?
It's your boy Edmund Kings, and I work at Center Vibe over there. And last night, this is Dabos.
I
think it's getting to Dabos.
I was going to go to Center Vibe, but there was a lot of people in there. I ain't going.
Let's enjoy the view because this might not be around for a very long time. Okay, so because you can see, I'm reading from ChatGPT. So it's saying all of these structures, even this one, all of these structures will be gone soon. That's so sad because this means a lot for so many people. So we're trying to enjoy the moment before it's all taken away. So 1 second, I'll be back. So I know Alibaba, I know most of these people and the business owners. So I don't know how this is going to affect them because I know they've spent a lot of money. So I don't know who's actually benefiting from this, development.
Now, Edmund said they spend a lot of money. Now, Edmund, what are they spending the money on, sweetie? Tell me. Are they? Because they certainly ain't spending it on the road. Look at this. Because this is what I twisted my ankle on. This little, see all this uneven sidewalk junk? See, this is stuff I twisted my ankle on. So I rolled my ankle. So what are they spending money on? That's what I want to know. And this is and y'all know what else? When you walking down here at nighttime, it's completely dark. This part in here is so black. All you got to do, you got to pray to get through there. That's how black it is. You got to pray don't no dog run up on you. You got to pray don't no snake run up on you. You got to pray don't no man run up on you. You got to pray don't nobody run up on you, because it's so dark down there you can't see nothing.
So there are lots of it. So I work at Vibe, and half of the land here is gonna be destroyed or pulled down.
But see, look how close this one is. Look how close this one is. And just think, I don't drink like I used to, but when I was in my 20s and 30s, I used to drink. Like when I would go to bars, the goal was to get tipsy. Okay, it was not to go just to go. It was to get tipsy. All right. So I'm thinking about me being tipsy in my 20s and 30s, stumbling out of this bar. Do you know I could have stumbled in the street and been hit by this car right here? Because when you're not in your, this is so unsafe. Because when you're out drinking like that, you're not fully aware of everything that's going on around you. And look at this sidewalk. Again, you can hurt yourself. Where are they putting this money? Because it is not going into the development of this area. It is not.
For the road extension right here.
So this is the one he work at. Now this one, okay, right here. Look how close they are to the road. Just look at that. Look how close they just dead smack center. You coming out of here, you walking, you stepping straight in the street. You better not have no drinks and be tipsy, because if you do, it's over for you.
So most of these parts will be gone.
You know what? I think I did go in there. We went in there. We thought they have food in there. They don't sell food in there. They just sell drinks in there. So we went in there, but no, I wanted some food. I didn't want no drinks.
So I'm so sad about it. So, wow. You're definitely gonna miss this place if that happens. So
we look at this one right on the street.
Let me know if your own restaurant or your favorite restaurant is affected. It's affecting a whole lot of people right here. So I'm gonna pause the video right here because people don't like being recorded around here. All right, see you guys soon. So enjoy the view because it might not be around for too long anymore. All right, so it's your boy Edmund King. Subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, because a lot of people have turned to social media to express their sadness or grief over this situation. All right.
There's sadness and grief. What are they sad and grieving about, y'all? Somebody help me understand, what is this sadness and this grieving about? What are they grieving about?
See you guys later.
See all this across the street.
So I heard that even Saffron will lose a very huge part of.
So y'all know about? Oh, y'all don't know. If you haven't been familiar with Saffron, Saffron is one of the other ones, the big ones there, but they're right on the street also.
The front yard, like all of these places you're seeing, they're taking them away. So this is really going to change how tourism is being seen in the Gambia.
So they're going to.
And I feel like they should give them some kind of time, plenty of time to like plan or rebuild these areas, so people don't just come and they don't have places to relax. You know, people have built some kind of relationship with many of the bars and hotels in these places. So I just feel like something needs to be done.
Who are the people who built relationship with these bars and these hotels? I want to know. Who are they? Because there's some people there who I think do have built, but these are those older, creepy ones. You know what I mean? That be in the corner eating by themselves. You know, you will see them and you can tell they just hang out there all day. You know, but who are they? That's the tourist, the quality tourist that you think that they think is gonna keep Gambia, like gonna push Gambia into the 21st century. That's what they think. That's the kind of tourists they're going to keep building on depending on to live and drink and survive, is that type of tourist. That's what they're going to keep depending on. A tourist that will settle for this and say, okay, you can offer me this and I'm going to pay for that. You know that tourists ain't spending no money on that. That's why they're not complaining about that. They're not putting money into the economy. They're putting money into somebody's pocket.
So I'm gonna go towards Duplex Junction for the other parts that have been affected. So stay tuned. It's your boy Martins. Follow me for more content. I don't think there's anyone who's posted about this in Gambia Street more than I do, or more than I am. So follow for more content, and I'm gonna see you at Duplex Junction in France. See you soon. So I don't think any of these ones will be affected because these are like regular, normal structures. They don't look illegal to me. So, wow. And I heard something like this happened 2 years ago in other parts of
They
Gambia.
did.
Let me know in the comment section if you've experienced something like this before, and why
Okay,
do you
so
think it's
remember about 2 years ago when they went through there and they got all the market people out? They did the same thing to them. Remember the people who were selling on the side of the roads? Remember? And yeah, you don't see that anymore at all. No. Very a little bit. You see it in, what is that, turntable? You see some of them up there, but not like it used to be. And you certainly don't see them on those other streets. How they used to be all in the street? No, they can't do that anymore. They're not out there selling anymore. They're not out like in the streets anymore. You'll see some of them, but you do not see it like you used to. No, that's true. That is so true.
it's a parody at this point for the restaurants in front of the strip to be demolished.
Like, I don't get this right here. This to me looks so dangerous. You know, like it just seems dangerous to have this drainage thing right here instead of, maybe because I'm just used to it the other way. Maybe that's what it is.
At this time. Do you think it's the right thing to do at the present time? Or do
Yes, I think it's the right thing to do at the present time. I certainly think it's the right thing to do. I think it should have been stopped. If you got laws on your books from 2003 saying that this needs to stop and this is a problem, then why is it still an issue? Why are we still talking about it? Why is Gambia now on the list for number 2 where you go for sex tourism? Are you kidding me? Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? And y'all questioning, is this good for Gambia? Come on, keep it real. Who goes down here? Who goes down here? You can't go down. We tried to go down there and just kick it. Me, Heavy Pedal, his wife, my husband, we all tried to go down there and kick it one night. We couldn't go down there and kick it. It wasn't nothing for us to do down there. No, you would think it would, because these are the people who have the money, right? These are the people stimulating the economy. These are the people going there. You think there would be something for us to do. No, there was not. If you're not between, what is that, 16 through 25, honey, it ain't nothing for you to do. Nothing. It's all for those kids and and you know who be down there with them? Those grandpas and grandmas from Europe. That's who be down there. And I'm just going to say the West. They be down there with them. But it's nothing. But in Nigeria, oh no, it ain't like that. I haven't been there lately. It might have changed, Lord. I hope it didn't change like that. But it's not like that. But they don't cater to the tourist economy. They cater to their people. But yeah, this place is just weird to me. It was nothing. You go down, it caters to that trade. Like the whole environment is about that.
you think there's another motive behind it? I'm coming. So as I was saying last night at Center Vibe, we all gathered around outside the restaurant or the bar to take pictures, just to remember the good times we've had on the street. That's an indication that it's gonna look differently very soon. So I don't know how soon.
And that's what it looks like too, a strip. And y'all know what, every time you think of a strip, what you think about. And that's exactly what it looks like our Kathy said it was. And you go down there and it still look like it did since our Kathy described it to us. Ain't changed a bit. Ain't changed a bit. Still look like that. And people, and the sad thing are, people are mourning the loss of this instead of celebrating that their government is making a fantastic move. Their government is standing up and saying, we don't want all money ain't good money. We don't want dirty money. Their government is standing up and saying that. And not only are they saying it, they actually doing something about it to make this stop. They're giving the kids a chance now that this is not what you're going to, this is not what you're going to be doing here.
That is going to happen, but it looks pretty serious at this point because everybody's actually venting their, I won't say anger, they're just giving their opinions online. Like, it's really sad because I also work at Center Vibe as a pianist, right? So I'm there every day, and knowing that that part of the strip is not going to be there, like not everything, but some part of it, a big part of it is going to be taken away. So it's just.
Let me tell you, the ones that are going to be taken away are the ones that did not have a permit. Some of them did not have a permit. And then they were saying, oh, well, we bought it from someone else. And when we bought it, it didn't have a permit then. Well, come on. You didn't think to go get one? You didn't think you should do something to make sure you would have a permit for your building? You didn't think that? So see, these people have been playing this game with Gambia they've been playing this game for a long time, where they haven't been paying fee, whatever, you're supposed to pay to run your business, their fines or their fees, whatever they are. They're not paying that. They're not licensed. They're just there. They just built it 20 years ago and it's just there. And because they built it 20 years ago and they built it without a license, so it's supposed to be cool now. No, it is not cool. What does this say? Work was only just started. A massive investment of almost $20 million is boosting the Gambia. Well, that's not what I heard where they got the money from. Let me see. I didn't hear nothing about that. But you know how this thing go. He don't be telling you everything. He do not be telling you everything. I heard they got it from the World Bank and IMF. Most of it came from them. And guess what else they're rebuilding, y'all? They're working on the electricity grid. Thank God. Okay, so this is a European, Mr. Dietmar Goots is a prominent European travel executive who amasses 200 million USDA in a tourism project named Temple Tree Hospitality. Okay. So he has Temple Tree and Hospitality, which is a real estate investment. Temple Tree, he's a project in Gambia, multi-million-dollar beachfront master plan tourism destination. So he's building the official foundation for the stone ceremony will take place in the Gambia. But okay. A mega project that integrates high-end luxury hospitality, residential housing, and eco-friendly leisure. See, stuff I want to go to. Thank you, Mr. Goots. So this is one of the projects that's going on, but I was talking more about projects that are going on with the I was talking more about projects that's going on with the government, because I wanted to know where they got that money from to do everything that they're doing, because they're doing a lot of serious things over there. Like, they are taking this very seriously. Okay. So Mr. Goots is doing a project like the other ones, like where I stayed at. You'll see those like Forest View, Sea View, Ocean View, where Debo stayed at, those what you call it, Kaloli luxury apartments. You see a lot of that now. So when we go there for that experience, we want a little bit more when we go outside, or even when we're inside. We expect to have lights. You know what I mean? When we leave, we want to be able to go to a decent restaurant and have some good food. You know, we want to be able to get on some decent roads. You know, we don't mind spending the money if it's worth the experience. But if we're spending the money and the experience is crap, come on. We feel like we're being robbed. So, yeah. Oh, let me go back up here.
Some kind of mixed emotions. So I'm going to go to Duplex and I'll be right back.
So you know where this is. This, when I first went to Gambia, this is the village, right?
Duplex Junction, right
here. And when I first went there, this place was full of diasporas. They were everywhere. Diaspora people were everywhere. UK Black Brits was there. Caribbean people were there. Black Americans were there. I mean, everywhere you look, that's what you saw. Just adults, foreign adults, just hanging out, you know, on their computers, on their phones, just hanging out, drinking coffee, drinking tea, drinking whatever. But that used to be our chill spot. Not anymore. You go there now, you know what you're going to see. Gambian kids. Gambian kids. Yeah. That's where they're at. I told you all of this. It is all about the trade now. It is not about, it's not about what we made it about in our head. It's the reality is this is what it's about. Okay? Because them kids wasn't making no money off of us. We wasn't participating. No. So they got to go where they can get their money.
Now, because I feel like there's already a lot of people with no jobs in the Gambia. Like the unemployment rate is high. So I feel like the Senegambia Strip has been the one creating a lot of job opportunities for a lot of people, right? So if this happens...
Now that's a good point. He said that place, there's a lot of unemployment in the Gambia, and the Senegambia Strip gave a lot of people jobs. Now, I believe that it did give people jobs, but what were the quality of those jobs? Was it just like, I got a job? How much was they really paying those people? Were they paying those people a living wage, or were they exploiting those people? If they were exploiting their building structure, I can't imagine them paying their workers a decent wage when they're not even fixing their buildings. So I can't even imagine that they were paying the workers a living wage when they don't even fix the sidewalk in front of their building. You know, I kind of feel like they were exploiting their workers. I don't know for sure. You know, that's just me thinking out loud, because I'm looking at, if this is how you're going to take care of your building, then you're definitely not going to take care of your workers. So how well were these businesses really, you know, taking care of you guys?
A lot of people are going to be left with no jobs. That's not a good thing.
No, that's not a good thing.
A lot of people can't afford to feed their families and stuff.
That's true.
But let's see how it goes. I just want to know in the comment section where this is going. Like, what is the point? Is it to extend the road? Like, is it? I know it's important, but is it important right now? Like, right now? Because I feel like we should be promoting tourism in the Gambia and not tearing it down. All right? So we should be doing things that would make tourism increase, to make more people come visit the Gambia and explore the beautiful beaches, to meet the nice, caring, supportive, and loyal people, the food, the culture. Man.
And I would argue that that's exactly what these people like Mr. Goontz is trying to do. Mr. Goontz is about to build a $200 million luxury place. He gonna have places for you to live, for you to swim. He gonna have places, things for you to do. You know, I want to take my niece, but what's she gonna do over there? There ain't nothing for her to do. Nothing. Where's she gonna hang out at? You know, you don't even have a resort where there's like things for a kid to like do. It's too hot. They're not used to this heat. So they're not going to want to hang out in the heat. They're not. It's just nothing. But if you want tourists, you got to think like that. You got to think, okay, do I want the family? Oh, the family is at more money than the single people. What do I do? I need this, I need that. You got to think of what these people are going to do. And the fact that there's nothing there to do, that tells me what it's all about. Because it's not about going there doing anything. It's about going there hooking up. That's what it's about. Going down to those little raunchy strip that they proudly call the strip, and hooking up in the strip. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Because that's all you could possibly be. And this ain't no serious in love forever hookups. This is just some hookups. I ain't saying maybe all of them, but I'm sure most of them ain't.
Senegambia is like the hub of tourism in the Gambia.
Well, and if Senegambia is the hub of tourism in the Gambia, that is a shame before God. And thank God that the planning department is doing, that the Gambian Tourism Board, thank God they are doing something about it. If that is the hub, thank God it is being crushed and destroyed and rebuilt. Thank God for that.
Nice car, champ. So that is the Duplex Junction right there. So to the left is the Pocoloko Street.
Oh, and I'm going to tell y'all why Solomon's, who charge us an arm and a leg, why they haven't been open.
And I'm going to show you some restaurants that are most likely going to be affected by this also.
So this is the other area that's going to be affected by this.
What's up, Endam? Duplex Junction, and this is the road to Pocoloko, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna tell y'all about all of them.
There are lots of restaurants here also, and this is also part of the places that's affected. Hi, bro. I like your instruments. You're welcome. What's the name of this instrument? I'm vlogging. I'm a vlogger. Can I see it, please? So, thank you so much. I don't know if this is on the road.
Now this is the one I want y'all to see. I just went to all these restaurants. So I just was on this, I think it's Pimarena. Is that how you say it? But I was just on there, y'all. And guess what? I was wondering why all the businesses looked closed. It was hardly anybody on there. And the sun was setting, right? And there was like really nobody there. And I was shocked. I was like, where's all the people at? People are usually here. There was nobody there.
This can be resolved.
Very few people. I shouldn't say nobody, very few. Like this right here, that's on the roadway. I can tell you right here, all of this purple and white stuff, no, that's a no.
This way possible.
This sandwich sign, that's a no.
So many people losing so much money and investment and stuff.
Look, but losing money, what did you invest in here? How much did it take you to invest in this? Whatever this is. Seriously, y'all, come on. Come on. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Y'all know that. Well, how much investment was this?
So I don't know if this is also being affected. I heard a lot of restaurants.
And they don't have no generators because we went there to eat and they didn't even have any lights.
Along the Pocoloko street, which is right here where we are, going to be affected, and some hotels.
All of this
that's
gotta go
right there.
I'm telling you, all of this got to go. And this is a hotel, y'all.
So I don't know if this is on the road that they want to take away. And it's going to force a lot of businesses to close, or some to lose a lot of staff and stuff. So when I get past here, I'm going to continue. And I love Bamboo Hotel. I've been here before. I stayed the night here. So,
but look at this place.
Hey, Gordy. Big brother. Look at Yuri. I was vlogging. How you doing?
Making contact.
Yes. How you doing?
It's look at Yuri. This is Yuri. This is his big brother. Yuri is one of the businesses owner over there. So this is one of the people who own those businesses that we're talking about.
Okay, man. Awesome. Thank you so much. That's one of the owners of Cinevibe bar that I was telling you about.
Oh, he owns Cinevibe.
He also posted on his Facebook, you know, showing how sad he is about the situation. Like they cannot dampen the spirit. You understand? We're gonna come back stronger.
Look at all of this.
That's what we're trying
Look
to
at
say.
all of
So
this.
this is the famous MKs. Wow. So
Look at all this. There's no way this should be on the street like this. No way. That's how they got them all. This is exactly how they got them. Look how close they are.
some things are already being removed. There used to be like a demarcation right here. My beautiful MKs is being affected. Hi, brother. How are you? All right. Yeah. I'm good. Doing great, man. I'm just...
See, look at this. All on the sidewalk. Step out, step in the street. Step out, step in the street.
I'm just vlogging.
Oh, look, this is how you go. This another thing I noticed about them. They got on my nerves. This all they had to eat, y'all. Besides their African food, this all you gonna see. Pizza, ice cream, and chicken and fries. Chicken and chips. Chicken wings and chips. Everybody want to sell hot wings. Everybody want to sell hot wings and fries. They call them chips. That's all you're going to see there. Don't nobody want to go there and eat that.
Wow. So I just...
See, look, how much did you invest in this?
Just finished speaking with some people at MK's right now. They're really sad about what's going on. So I was told that next week.
Look, how much did you invest in this? How much did you invest in this?
Next week, they're going to come make some kind of demarcation. They're going to draw the line of the places that are affected. And the next week is going to be, you know, excavated or something. They're going to use tractors.
Well, I hope he go down there and videotaping them drawing the line. I want to see that.
Take everything apart. So it's so sad what's going on. It's going to...
So whatever in the line, they taking it.
Affect a lot of businesses. I can already feel the energy. A lot of people are actually frustrated, angry. You know, no parking space too, issues and all that. So let me know in the comment section what you think about this development. And thanks to some people that actually following me on Facebook that I met at MK's. They told me their own opinions too. So let's see what happens. Let's see how it goes. I hope everything turns out good for business owners in the Gambia, because I noticed, like, since I came to the Gambia, I've been meeting a lot of business people. They've been so humble, kind. Tourism industry that we're trying to preserve, right, in the Gambia.
See all of this.
Look at this beautiful place, man.
All of this gotta go.
I don't know what it's gonna look
This
like.
is Poco Loco
in the next
down here.
coming months, but let's see. I'm gonna pause the video and go to Poco Loco now. 1 second. So these are more restaurants. Let me know in the comment section if any of these
See, all
restaurants
that's gonna
are
have to go. I'm
affected.
telling y'all now.
Let me know if the
All
Poco
that.
Loco itself is affected.
Poco Loco,
you can see
yeah.
his name right there.
I can tell you. I can
Poco
tell.
Loco.
See, this is it.
So
And
let's
y'all know how expensive Poco Loco is. Y'all have no clue. It's
see.
one of the expensive places.
And I'm gonna walk maybe to the
Look at all that. I can tell y'all right now. Yeah.
beach. Oh, I can see Artist Africa's bike. Artist Africa is right there. So let's see what's gonna happen. So this is Poco Loco. Poco Loco Beach right
How much money y'all think they put into this?
here. So I don't know if this is gonna be taken away or not. Let me know in the comment
And look at
section.
these little things you sit under. That's the thing that be killing me. I'm like, y'all can't put no money into this and fix these up.
Wow. Welcome to the Gambia. It's been a while. I actually came to the beach. It's been a long ass time.
So this is just the beach. I want y'all to see the
So-
structure some more.
It's your boy Edmund Kings. Follow for more.
Because I want y'all to pay attention to this, okay? This is why the Gambian Tourism Board, this is exactly why they're saying what they're saying. They didn't even build these. They have, like when you build on the beach, they have certain rules. You have building codes you have to follow. These people didn't even follow. Some of them didn't even follow the building code. They just built it any way they wanted to.
This is my 1 year in the Gambia, and I'm loving it so far. Back is stronger. All right, so I support tourism, so I don't want to see it get torn apart.
I support tourism also, but I support quality tourism. All right, I don't believe all money is good money. I don't believe that. And if it's a good quality tourist, that good quality tourist is going to spend the money in different places. They're going to spread the money around. But if it's a sex tourism tourist, they're not spending that money, but on their little habit. That's it. It's not. They're not going to no restaurants. They're not going to markets. They're not going shopping. They're not going out. They're not looking at the culture. They're not going to watch the birds. They're not investing anything into that economy because they did not come there for that. And that is not the type of tourist you want.
Look at how beautiful it is. The trees.
See, look, that's got to go.
Just looks beautiful.
All of this got to go.
So I don't know the intention of what it's stand to gain, but just
see, look, all that.
Just see how it goes.
We was just here. We was just at this place.
Right? All right. So shout out to Light Bite.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I looked at that place and I said, nope, I'm not going in there. Look how it looks.
Well, it looks like later.
Everything looked homemade. So how much did you seriously invest if it's all homemade looking?
Oh, that's the CEO right there, Diego. Hello, sir.
No.
Wow. A beautiful Light Bite. So it's beautiful. So I just met, Diego, the owner of Light Bite, the owner of African Queen, and the owner of, let me pause the video 1 second. Yes.
African Queen, I've been there. Look, you see what I mean? Now you own this place. Because it take nothing to own places around there. Those little bars and stuff. They don't put no money into that. And anybody who's been to Gambia know I'm not lying.
And the owner of Light Bite, the owner of African Queen, and the owner of Senevai Bar where I work. So it just told me like
one out of all of
not all the parts of us Light Bite is going to be affected, just a little bit.
The front half.
So I think the most part that is affected.
Yeah, it's the
to make these videos.
All right, so let me get y'all comments, and then I'm gonna read y'all some of their comments. These people are really mourning this play. I bet they are though, because this is probably where they had the best time of their lives. All right, let me pull up these comments. Let me go look at y'all comments first. All right. So, oh wait, hold on. Heavy Pedal Time says, never forget, Kiki, these Africans hold hands with their friends. It doesn't always mean that what it does in the USA. Well, now, when I was in Cameroon, I did see these were younger African men. They weren't men. They were boys. They were young boys, and they would hold hands with each other. And I thought that was really strange, but then they explained to me that they're friends and they love each other, blah, blah, blah. But like, I didn't see that in Nigeria, and I did not see that in Gambia. Like the men I'm around, I don't see them holding hands with each other. And even the teenage boys who live around there, I don't see them holding hands with each other. I don't see that so much in the Gambia. Like, I don't see them holding hands. I've never seen my husband hold anybody's hand but my hand. You know, and I don't think he would appreciate if a man asked him to hold his hand. I don't think he would appreciate that, but I'll ask him tonight when I get off of y'all. African guy that says, heavy pedal time, get out of here. Holding hands with a foreign guy, yeah. Positive Joy says, holding hands that I saw looked very sexual, like lovers. I'm afraid it's happening. And you can tell. You can tell. You got that feeling, you know. Young girls with older men is normal locally. So a tourist with money is like the jackpot. She's right. Because they're going to be with the older man anyway, because the younger men don't have any money. So they got to go for the older man in their culture. So they figure out, I'll just go with the European old man, because at least the European old man has money. Because either way I go, I'm going to be with an old man. But that don't seem like it's so much true there, because remember we saw the little young girl with the black eye. She was young. Her and her husband was about the same age. Yes, the white men are all over young black women. I had many of them approach me too. It was madness. But the blue door leads into a restaurant. I have stayed there before. It was horrible, but heard that they are doing work. What? Wow. Auntie says, hi, Auntie. Heavy Pedal Time says, if he is a close friend that is familiar with the social norm, with their social norms, I don't let men walk with me. They don't bother me anymore. Someone asked me the other day, how long have I been living in Gambia? TNK says, please hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. Gambia is cursed positivity, Joy says. I said, why do you say that? And I Movement says, work has just started for Dietmar Guntz, a massive investment. And that's true. So it sounds like it's going to be something like those apartments, those luxury apartments that everybody's building over there, which is by the ocean. I mean, that's all you see. And I'm thinking, who going to be in these apartments? You know, that's what I was thinking when I was there. I'm looking at them building all this stuff. I mean, they are building like all these apartments everywhere you look. There is these luxury apartments going up by the ocean everywhere. And I'm like, but who gonna come visit here? When y'all don't even have lights, y'all don't even have roads, y'all don't even have good food. We can't even say, "Ooh, I'm going to go to the Gambia because I want to eat." You know, you can't say that because what you gonna eat? What are you gonna eat? Benachin, that's all they eat. Benachin, and they only eat 2:00. Then you gonna eat bread for the rest of the day? No. Nobody's going to pay to go stay in a luxury apartment, and that's what they got to do, because then it's going to be so hard for you to even find food when you're ready to eat, because that's not when they eat. So these projects confuse me until you fix up the other stuff. All right? Like, you got to fix that up. You got to but they're working on that now. Okay, yeah, I did find out that, because I'm like, okay, you doing all of this to knock out all these people in Senegambia. You getting rid of all these little sex tourism spots. But what are you doing to make the place a better place? And they are. We're going to get to that. They are doing something to make the place a better place by and large. Have you been to their markets? There are flies all over the food, no jobs, bad. Yeah, she's right. Bad roads, poor health care. Exactly. You know, and then you're not supposed to get an attitude while you sitting there looking at all that. And you paying all this money to come here and stay here. Not only to come, but to stay. And you looking like, where is this money going? Because what are y'all doing with it? What do y'all do? Once you go, you don't even, like, I don't eat nothing called meat there. If it says it's meat, I don't eat that. Because that meat means they don't know what it is, right? They don't know what meat is. I say, what is meat? Oh, it's just meat. But what is that? It's meat. So they don't know what meat is. So you can't tell me the name of it. I don't want it. Meat is not a name. The whole she says the whole Maya says the whole district needs to be abolished and rebuilt. It does. Except for those new areas they built over there, they need to be tore down and rebuilt. Everything else needs to be tore down because everything else is raggedy. Except when you get down there by the Fairview Apartments, those are new. And then that where Debo was at, that area is new, where she was at, but the rest of it is just trash. And like she said, I would just tear it all down and I would start over. I would start completely over, and I would do like commercials, you know, and like people who, like I said, who like to watch birds. I'm gonna show you all the stuff, but they're doing all that now. They are doing all that now. Kwame, hey Kwame. Kwame says, wow. Positive Joy says, when the electricity cut, some people in the hospital were at risk of dying. Ventilators stopped. No, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. I can't. I can't. That's why I was outdone. I was just outdone. That's why I told y'all it was like the hood. Because who invites you to their house and don't have no electricity except for your cousins in the hood? Who does that and they ain't got no water and they toilet ain't flushing? We ain't trying to go over your house. Goodbye. And then there ain't nothing. Then you thought you was gonna bust my head to the white meat. You thought you was about to overcharge me for every single thing. You thought you was about to do that. No, you weren't about to play me like that. It better let me see it in writing because I read all the policies, honey. That is one thing about me. I am the policy queen. Okay? I enjoy reading policies. Now, what if I didn't read the policy? They would have been playing me left, right, and center. What if I couldn't read the policy? What if I didn't understand the policy? You know? What if that? So they let businesses build an unauthorized land and throwing them out. I don't think they let them. Well, this is how it would go down in Cameroon. I don't know about Gambia, okay? But this is how it would go down over there. So whoever's working for the council, we would go out and we would do inspections, okay? Whoever's in that zoning department. So say there's a zoning director, he go out, they gonna slide the zoning director, whatever. They gonna slide him a little bit of money. All right. The zoning director is just gonna look the other way and let you do whatever you want to do. And you're gonna build it. So you're gonna get away with that for quite some time because every time we go out from the zoning department, you're gonna give us 500 safer. Every time you go. Every time we go, no matter what, you're gonna give us 500 safer. You're gonna give us something for going, so we don't say nothing. You know, and that was the way it went in Cameroon. And it didn't change until the administration decided we're going to crack down on this, okay? And that's when it changed. And that's when we went out. Like they said, they had to just serve everybody legal notice. We had to go out and serve people legal notice that this was no longer going to be like this. Because so many government officials will turn a blind eye. If you give me some money, I'm just going to turn and look the other way. That's how it was in Cameroon. I'm not sure if it goes down like that in Gambia, and that's how they got away with it. But in Cameroon, that was how they would get away with it. You know, they would just give somebody some money, and it would go on for so long, and until somebody comes in and says, "No, it ain't gonna be like that no more," then you know it's just gonna it just be like that. But it all goes back to corruption. Hey, Gambian Global TV. The video you're watching is made by a Nigerian who migrated to the Gambia for peace, safety, and a better life. There are 1,000 Nigerians living in the Gambia as we speak. Okay, but what that got to do with anything? And your point is what? What's your point? And your point is what? Okay. He's a Nigerian. He's a migrant. Okay. But he made a good video, and your point is what? I don't get it. I miss Art Kathy too, because if she was here, she'd be slamming them. She'd be slamming them on this. How come the Gambian is rated as one of the most peaceful countries in Africa? What does that have to do with what we're talking about? We're talking about the land wars that's going on over there. Okay. Heavy Pedal Time just told us about 70% of the court cases are over land issues. Okay. The Gambian Tourism Board has just declared war on everybody, on every business in the Senegambia Strip. They don't care who you are. Coco Ocean, Poco Loco, they don't care who you are. Calypso, they don't care who you are. They done declared war on all of y'all. Either you do the right thing in Gambia or you go. They're tired of all the S tourism that goes on over there. They're tired of that. They want to change their image. That's what we're talking about. Illegal building happens all over Africa, and it's fine until the government decides that, they want to deal with you. Just like I said, when the administration comes in and they decide, okay, we done with that, then, you got to, we coming to tear it down. We coming to tear it down, period. The country can, Global TV, Gambian Global TV says, a country can have all the beautiful buildings and infrastructure, but they don't have peace, but gun violence, carjackings, and gang violence. That's not what we're talking about, though. Not sure why well-intended people would spend their vacation in the Gambia, Maya says. Exactly, because there's nothing to do. It's nothing to do, but it's changing, y'all. And this tourism board is going to change fast because they're going after these people. Black Brits and Americans aren't coming back because they are targeting them. What you mean? Black Brits and Americans aren't coming back because they are targeting them. Who's targeting them? African Goddess says to Gambian Global TV, look at the insecurity across West Africa. Heavy Pedal Time says, Gambia is easy to deal with. I am at peace here, but the youth have a serious problem. Exactly. And guess what? If the youth have a serious problem, then your country has a serious problem, because the youth will tear your country down. They will tear it down because they don't have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. Don't you get it? Those are the worst people that you can piss off, are the ones who have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. And it's a lot of them. A lot of them. When I saw them just walking in and out of the cars, the traffic, and I saw the one little boy just stand there and dance, like he stopped the traffic so he could stand there and dance. I couldn't believe it. And then you go down a little bit more, and then it's like 20 of them. No, it was more than that. I'll say it was about 30 of them just walked in the middle of the street. So all the traffic will stop. And these was young kids, but they're little. So I shouldn't say they were young. They're probably maybe up 20, 21, because they look like teenagers. So they probably was 20, 21 and under. These people are not the people you want to have problems with. These are the people you want to have total control over. That's why you get them in youth employment programs. I keep telling y'all, when I was little, the boys were in youth, well, girls were too. They had youth employment programs, okay? Youth employment programs. Guess what? The government will give you a job all summer. The boys worked. Well, the boys and the girls, they worked. You could go to summer school for free and get your credits, get extra credits so you could graduate early. There were things for the youth to do here. They didn't want us getting, they knew inner city youth and minority youth, you have a greater chance of getting into bad behaviors, antisocial behaviors, criminal activity at an early age. So what do? If we really want to stop it, we put programs in place. So you got something other to do than run the streets. See, these kids in Gambia, they ain't got nothing to do but go to Senegambia. That's all they got to look forward to every day. Driven by social media, Western culture, adaptation, drugs, and poverty. I would put it in a different code. I would say it's driven by lack of education, poverty, drugs, social media, Western core culture. That's the order I would put it in. what type of jobs Africa Goddess says. They can give them to the type of jobs they had when I was in school. They would give us jobs, government jobs. Like the boys would go cut the grass. The girls worked in the offices. They worked in the office. You see what I mean? They taught the girls how to file and answer phones. Because remember, back, it was still kind of sexist, the jobs. So the boys would be outside. But now, if your girl want to cut the grass, but they don't even have those programs anymore. They don't have them anymore. If they had those programs here, you wouldn't see the problems you see here. It's the programs. People don't do those programs anymore. So, but if you want to stop that, that's what you do. Beautiful beaches, African Goddess says, you can't walk on those beaches without getting harassed. No, and the harassment is just disgusting. Because you're a woman, every man in that country thinks they can talk to you. And I'm like, but how? How do you even think in your head that me and you are even on the same level and that I would even give you a chance? How? You're the dang on doorman at the restaurant. You opened the door for me to come into the restaurant to eat. You think I'm really going to talk to you? And that makes me think, it makes me sad, because it makes me think that women are really talking to them. Because when I first started going to Africa, the doorman would have never done that. The doorman would have never given me any eye contact. He would have looked down. He would have lowered his gaze and said, "Good evening, madam." He would have said nothing else other than what pertained to that dinner we were having and me coming inside. But not now. That's because they got all them nasty women over there like ES and Kinza just running through it, making people think that we like that. That we go and sleep with here, there, that we're witches and we sleep with anybody and everybody. That we pay little young boys to be with us. So that's what they think. Because they see real live representations on YouTube. So all of them gotta be like that. Oh, and there's more. You can't tell me it's not more. Because the way they like I told y'all, how they would just come up to the balcony and just start talking to me. Why would you do that? Unless you went through there and that's where you pick up women. You see what I mean? Because nobody's going to do that unless they've been there and picked up women there before. Gambia is no longer safe. And I don't think it's safe either, because all these unalivings that Heavy Petal Time was sending me and telling me about, it was so many unalivings. It was unbelievable. The number of unalivings. Let me see. Yeah, it was just unbelievable. And the one girl, this one, she was a young girl, y'all, and she was unalived. She was unalived after she was raped, after a raped attempt by a man. She was in the 12th grade of school, a secondary school. He later hung and killed himself. Yeah. So this is what's going on over there. While they telling us to run over there. This is what's going on. Okay. So let me see. Knife crime is increasing. Yep. Exactly. Harassment on the beach is crazy. It is. Harassment everywhere there is crazy. It's just everywhere. And it's just like, you just like want to be left alone. It's just ridiculous. And who you're harassed by, you're not even harassed by nobody you want to be harassed by. These are people that you just looking like, what? What is wrong with you? Like, what makes you think that? Gambia doesn't understand anything about Gambian cultures. Kiki doesn't understand anything about Gambian culture. She doesn't speak any of the languages, nor culturally integrated when she is in the culture, but merely sits all day in a rented apartment, LOL. And you know everything about me. You know that how do you know I don't speak any of the languages? Because I don't come on YouTube and speak it on you. Why would I speak it on YouTube? Why would I come on here and speak Wolof to y'all? You're not Wolof. So why would I come on here to show you that I can speak Wolof? Why would I do that? I'm not doing that. I don't do things like that. I don't have to prove to you that I know anything about the culture. I don't have to prove any of that to you. You're more than welcome to think whatever you want to think. And this is the first time I've ever been in a rented apartment. So I don't know what that point was supposed to be. But yeah, it's rented. I'm not going to live there. So I don't understand what your point is. You don't know Kiki, and there's no need to insult her. Yeah, it's no insult. It's no insult taken, because you know what? He doesn't know me, and it just that whole statement lets me know he don't know nothing about me. He just knows he knows nothing about me, and this whole statement just proved this person don't even know nothing about this woman he talking about. He trying to talk about. He just mad because he always mad. He just jealous. He's just a jealous hater. Are you disputing the sex tourism claims? Are you saying that she shouldn't believe? Right. But we don't know what he's saying. That's the whole thing, honey. We don't even know what this man is saying. We eat our local organic food like peanut butter stew, Benachin, soup kanja, yassa, and spinach stew, but not unhealthy pizza. Well, why are y'all offering us that to eat? And this isn't healthy eating this every day. You eat this peanut butter stew with rice that has rice in it, and it ain't brown rice. It's some white rice, and y'all don't even know if it's rice. Y'all getting that from the Chinese. You don't know what they selling you. And then this Benachin is the same thing. That's more rice. You eat that every single day. And soup kanja, you eat that with rice. That's more rice. You can't eat rice at yassa, chicken yassa, every single day. That's more rice. All of those dishes have oil. Spinach stew, nothing but oil. So your point was what? So why are you offering us unhealthy pizza? That's all I saw at all those restaurants. That's it, except for the Spice Hub. Everything else, nothing. Nothing. You came on here like that with some good healthy food you eating. Honey, that's some stuff that's going to clog your veins up and make you have a heart attack. Yes, there's massive amount of flies on this local food. He ain't telling you that, how you got to fight the flies before you can even eat, honey. You got to fight them for your food. I can 100% tell you that Kiki doesn't understand most of the things she's moaning and how do you know? Well, okay, but you said you can 100% tell us, then you should be giving us facts. You should be able to say, this is how I know she doesn't understand because X, Y, Z. You're not doing that. You're just making statements. You just saying nothing. She's moaning and groping. All she does is sit in the house day in and day out without integrating. What? Where did you get that from? And I just showed you, I just made a video where we were riding around. And I can't film videos like that. I'm talking to my husband in the car. So you want me to not talk to him and make videos for y'all to prove to you that I don't sit in the house? I don't have to prove to you that I don't sit in the house. I like staying in the house. As a matter of fact, I sit in when he's at work, I'm in the house. You're absolutely right, because it's too hot for me to be out there. But I don't understand. How can you sit up and just fantasize about me and my life? And that's sad. You don't know what locals I integrate with. You don't know who knows Kiki Loves Nigeria over there. You don't know nothing about me. And that's why you mad and sad, because you know nothing about me and you wish you were a part of my life. Well, dream on, dreamer. I saw it in the Gambia. She probably blocked you. She told you take a walk and get some fresh air. I think she blocked you. Could it be people meet? Oh, honey, I don't know, Lola. Don't say that. Oh, thank you, TNK. Oh, God. London lady. Y'all know who I haven't seen? Edra. I hope she's okay. I got to email her. Janice, think before you speak. A person has eyes and knows what they see. Thank you, honey. So let me sum this up real quick on what they're going to do. Oh, let's look at some of these comments, because these people are really sad they can't go over here and do dirt no more. Look, the environment's not great. It needs a lot of improvements. It's too dirty. Exactly, honey. A lot of attention and awareness is needed for cleanliness. I make videos all the time about, okay. So the real question should be, for those who benefit, is this development intended? There has already been a hell of a lot of clearance and disruption, and it appears to have done very little to reduce unemployment or poverty. It would be interesting to see what contracts are being awarded to those. No, it's not going to be interested in seeing. They're going to award them to those big people like Mr. Guntz. And Mr. Guntz is going to do what Mr. Guntz is going to do. He's going to do like all them other ones, and he's going to build some luxury apartments with some luxury places for us to stay, where they're not going to tolerate the sex tourism. And they're trying to stomp that out so they can get good quality tourists like Kiki Loves Nigeria. Thank you. I was there 3 years ago, and that is the main attraction there. Wow, it is sad. I told you, and that's what Kate says. It is sad. Of course, there's a motive behind it. I'm old enough to remember in the mid-1980s when we made more tourists visiting the country, and those were times when we barely had any proper infrastructure. And the Senegambia Hotel was the only hotel around, what we call the Strip now. Today, even Cape Verde have more tourists than we have, because Cape Verde is another sex tourism place. Yeah, and it's legal to do same sex over there. So isn't that interesting that this person compared Gambia, who's number 2 for that activity, to Cape Verde? Isn't that interesting? So they're saying because the government is cleaning it up, they and other authorities are slowly destroying the country if they haven't already. So you don't think the trade is destroying the country? You don't think that? In the mid-80s, when they barely had any infrastructure, what were people going over there for? That's what I want to know. What were you going over there for in mass numbers? What were you doing when they barely had lights? Okay. How do you walk straight past the first couple of restaurants at Poco Loco talking about effective business? Okay, I don't know what they're talking about. All right, now let me tell you now. So it's a shame. Okay, listen to this one. Don't know what you're talking about, because they are going after the big ones. It's a shame they're not going after the bigger companies. It's always the small guys. But it's time to clean up Gambia. Most of these areas are problems with promoting prostitution and illegal activities. Tourism board need to focus on the environmental. Don't focus on the prostitution or the illegal activities. No, focus on the environmental issues, such as sanitation and the enforcement of keeping the beaches clean. Really? Really? All right, so now let me tell you what they're going to do. So the beach bars violators, these people were operating completely without authorization. They were occupying land illegally and running food and drink services without a valid tourism operating license. Most of them were located on the coast stretching from Kotu to Khartoum. All right, most of them, if you had that, then you had to go. You got a ticket. The violations: building legal and unapproved structures at the beachfront. Many expanded their buildings by adding second floors or putting up large fences without permission. Additional misbehavior: the GT board noted that some of these owners aggressively refused to take the warning papers from inspectors and kept the buildings anyway. Unlawful advertising: dividing up and selling land that belongs to the government's tourism reserves. Wow. The GT board named specific past bad actors like EJ Investments, wow, S&J Properties, and Darbo Jula for trying to sell land inside the protected tourism development area. Wow. When the Gambian Tourism Board launched a major enforcement drive, they didn't tell us who the people were. Okay, so the beach bars. Okay, wait a minute. They didn't tell us that. But I want to get down here. I'm going to tell you who these other ones are. The businesses who got, so the beach bars were unauthorized beach bars, zoning license crackdown, illegal land use and missing license. Okay, these were beach bars, restaurant, private developers who were built inside the protected tourism place. They do not have government authorization to be there. The penalty for formal legal notices, giving them strict deadline to buy a license or face complete closure or demolition. So they have to buy a license or face complete closure or demolition. Is it a license for 1 year? Is it a license for all the years that you didn't pay? I don't know. It doesn't say. It just says buy license. Messy operations and cleanliness and obstructions crackdown. So remember the lady said, well, they didn't go after the big people, right? Remember she said that? Okay, so let's see. The issue is about maintenance and keeping the beach beautiful, okay? This is where the specific names you mentioned, Poco Loco, like when I told y'all about Poco Loco and Coco Ocean. Who are they? So the ones we're talking about now are established, legitimate property licensed resorts and beach spots. The violation: so they went out and they did a physical walkthrough. Remember I told you when the zoning department, we would have to do physical walkthroughs. We would do inspections. During the physical walkthrough compliance tour, inspectors caught them leaving ugly construction waste, concrete, building materials out in public. They were blocking pedestrian sidewalks and public beach walkways with heavily damaged tourist satisfaction. The penalty: they were not going to be shut down. Instead, they were given strict directives to immediately clean up their trash and store their building supplies. So let me tell you who the ones who was on the messy list and what they did. Trying to see. So the first one was Poco Loco is on here. Okay, here they are. They were on here for, let me go back up to the top. Okay, so Poco Loco, Coco Ocean, Calypso Bar, and Kotu Bed and Breakfast Hotel, Cape Point Craft Market. They gave them strict formal directives to immediately clean up construction supplies, bricks, trash, and waste. Okay. No, those were just the trash ones. These were, they gave these people a warning about the threat of what they were doing. And they were giving some of these people immediate shutdowns, Poco Loco and Coco Ocean. They have to immediate action during their walkthrough and tour and inspection. They found that Wait a minute. They found waste. They found human waste. They put, okay, let me go back up here and say it right so y'all can understand. Tourists, so this was, no, that's how they found out. They found human waste and they found construction waste. So there was like human waste when they would look for the construction, wait a minute, hold on. I want to make sure this is right. That's what I just want to make sure I tell you the right thing, because this was a lot of information that I had to go through. So Kotu was on there because they were on there for waste accumulation and structural compliance issues. Okay. Coco Ocean was on there, was flagged during a crackdown for strict environmental standards and to clear their public spaces. So they had construction stuff in their public spaces. All right. Poco Loco was on there for, they were inspected for contributing to environmental clutter and violating structural guidelines on public tourist pathways. So they were like just throwing stuff on the pathways, and they weren't cleaning up after themselves. All right. This hotel named Calypso, I don't know if it's a hotel, Calypso Bar and Restaurant, inspected at the very start of the sweep. They got in trouble for having localized waste management on their beach area and their beach area upkeep. So they weren't keeping the beach area up, and they had issues with waste management. Can you believe that? Cape Point was flagged for localized debris, littering, and disorganized material disposal affecting entry points on major nearby resorts. And Fajara Beach resort properties was cited for indiscriminate dumping of commercial trash and construction material. And let me tell you about Solomon's. Let's see what they're on there for. What did Solomon's do? Solomon's, their violation was inspectors found during the sweeping sanitation and compliance tour. Here's exactly what happened regarding Solomon's. All right, this was their violation. Pavement and pathway obstructions. Inspectors found that the businesses along this beachfront stretch were dumping commercial debris, construction materials, and raw building supplies directly onto the public pathways and tourist pavements. Improper storage. Instead of keeping building items stored safely indoors, materials were left in the open, which the GT board flagged as health risk and eyesores, and a disruption to the accessibility of the neighboring venues. They ordered them to remove the material. Formal warnings were directly, and they were given some formal warnings. The board gave these beachfront establishments a short window to immediately clean up all the waste debris, and they publicly stated that if the stakeholders did not comply, enforcement teams would return to forcefully confiscate and throw away the remaining obstructions to restore the beach's appearance. And there was another one, Kunta Kinte. So it looks like all the resorts were on here. I couldn't believe all the resorts were on here. Let me see what they got flagged for. Because they got, all of them did. All of them were doing stuff like this. All of them were. So, I mean, these people, I told you, they're not investing this money into the Gambia. They don't even care about the Gambia. They got flagged for dumping construction debris, blocking the road, same thing. Inspector found the complex was keeping raw building materials, brick, construction runoff directly out on public tourism pathways. So when the tourists got there, which is who they're making 25% of their income, when we would get there, and they're not lying, because I always wondered, why did they have the construction out like that? I figured that's just what they did on these pathways. All right, they're blocking instead of containing material safely inside of private property limits, it's spilled onto the sidewalks where the tourists walk. Let me see who was flagged for having waste, for having human waste. Let's see if any of them got flagged for that. And the GTP suite. Yep. So all of them were on here. I couldn't believe it. All of them were on here. So, so here's the one. This is construction and blocking here. Okay, so we talked about all of them. Okay. All right, so we talked about all of them. Okay. All right, I just want to make sure we covered all this. All right. Yeah, so it looks like, and where they got this money from, let me tell y'all this real quick. Where they got all this money from. Well, first off, what brought this to their attention was tourist surveys, okay? They got tourist surveys that tourists were heavily complaining about the lack of cleanliness and the messy state of the beaches. So if y'all really concerned about the tourists, and that's who y'all want to cater to, they're not happy with what they see. To protect the image as a beautiful holiday spot, the board launched a current crackdown to physically force businesses to clean it up immediately. All right, they're scared of climate erosion, environmental risk. Okay. So like I said, most of the money, I wanted to know, where did they get the money to do all of this? Because they're spending lots of money, and they're working on the grid. They're working on building up this grid, the electric grid. They're working on building up the roads. They're working on building up a drainage system. They're working on doing a lot. But this administration, like, I think they're like done. I think he's been there like I think theirs is 8 years. I'm not sure. But I don't know if this administration is coming back. So I don't know what's going to happen to all these projects when they leave office, But right now, they've got a lot of money from the World Bank. They've got a lot of money from the IMF, and they are building up this electricity grid. So this will not happen again. And they're trying to get electricity from neighboring countries. Why would a married woman go out by herself and integrate with locals? Locals? Honey, right. It would not be safe for you as a woman alone to burn up. Exactly. That's why I said it don't even make sense. Why would I do that? Exactly. And what am I going to do? Just walk down the street and start talking to people? I'm not doing that. Why would I integrate with the locals? He sounds crazy. But look, y'all, we've been out here for almost 3 hours, so I wanted to share that with y'all. I think this is a good thing that's going on in the Gambia. I really, truly do. I think that this is going to help Gambia become a better place. I think it's going to help Gambia become a better country. I think it's going to help Gambia get quality tourists, y'all. the quality tourists that go on there to go to really see Gambia and not to exploit from Gambia, not to take, not to take what she has away. So I think that's what's I think this is a good move. And I'm glad that the Gambian Tourist Board is listening to the people. And they have a new leader. Her name is Ida Njai, I think that's her name. She's the new director, and this initiative is put in place by her. Like, she's really pushing for this. And excuse me, let me drink some water. But they said by next tourist season, we should see a change. All right. So hopefully we will. Hopefully by next tourist season, we will see a change. Yeah, her name is Miss Ida Njai. All right, y'all. That's all I have for y'all tonight. I will talk to y'all. We might be back Saturday. Yeah, we might come back Saturday. That's the third. Oh, is that the 4th of July? Oh, I don't know. I have to let y'all know. All right, y'all. I will be in touch with y'all. I will see y'all Saturday. I think I'm going to see y'all Saturday. I'm not sure, but I'll see y'all soon. All right. I love y'all. See y'all later. Bye-bye.